Hello, welcome to Jason Cavness Experience. I'm your host, Jason Cavness. I'm also CEO and founder of Cavness HR, where we deliver HR to companies with 4 and fewer people with an AI-powered platform while providing access to HR business partner. We're also doing our Cavness HR Refunder right now, and we're also providing 7 ebooks from our 300 conversations on the podcast. Today, we're doing something different. Today, we're turning the tables. My good friend Sierra's going to interview today and talk about our crowdfund that we're doing. So, Sierra, thanks for doing this.
Thank you. It's fun to be on the other side of the interview.
Cool.
All right, so we have some really good questions lined up to get to know you, your background, some things I've been excited to talk to you about Cavness HR, your story. Maybe let's begin at the beginning. So I learned that you were student body president in college, which, you know, I get maybe that was the beginning of a political career you might resume later. I'm kidding. But how did that leadership shape you? What got you interested into that? How did you get elected? Like, just tell us your story about that experience.
So it's funny. So a junior year in college, right? I was like student center, right over, and so doing stuff in college. And it was time for like the election to come up, right? And there's 2 people I knew that were running for like, they said, we're running for president, right? I'm listening to them. I'm like, man, I'm thinking, man, y'all boys are fucking jackasses, right? Like, man, like there's no way. And so I decided to run just because I didn't like what they're doing, right? And at the time, like, I'm introverted, right? I don't like talking in front of people. And the reason I won, somehow I put it off. I spoke in front of a business school, right? And like 300 people, right? And the people said, this is the best speech we ever had. Everyone said, we voted for you because of this speech in good business, right? So learn that lesson I learned. I mean, you got to put yourself out there, right? Mm-hmm. Even if you don't think you're ready, even you think you're scared, even if you think, you know, like, man, like I can't do this. You got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, that's a lot of what leadership is in a lot of ways is showing up. So you were also selected for officer candidate school. So you were in the Army. A lot of folks know that you're a veteran, but tell us about that officer school experience, the selection process, what that meant to you.
Yeah, officer school in the military, if it's Army, Navy, it's really hard, right? For example, when we started, there was 125 of us, and there was probably like 10,000 applicants, right? So it's very hard to get into, right? Very hard, right? They pick top of the top, right? And officer school, like, it's very hard, right? The joke in officer school is like, whatever class you're in, that's the last hard class. Everyone after you is easy because they make it easier, right? And so we started 125. We only graduated like 33.
Ooh.
Yeah. They would do stuff like, you know, like the first 10 days. So you're up all day doing stuff. So suppose you wake up at 6 in the morning, right? No, you wake up 5 in the morning. You have 5 minutes to do everything. Shower, everything, 5 minutes, right? Of course, 120 people can do it in 5 minutes, right? So you get all these negative points. They yell at you stuff or whatever. And so you go to breakfast, you have 30 minutes to eat. Not each person 30 minutes, but when first person goes in, the clock starts.
Oh, so that's like your cue time, like when you're in line, too.
Yeah. So like if 30 minutes pass, only 50 of you eat, then other people don't eat, right? And then you go to class all day, it's boring, or do whatever, and you're trying to stay awake. You come back, and then you finally go to bed like 10:30, right? That's smoking overtime. So 10:30, you go to bed. But at midnight, they woke you up for a midnight run. So at midnight, you go for a 5-mile run. And so you get back in the room 2 in the morning. Of course, you can't go to sleep, right? So that was like the first 18 days.
Now, do you guys get to shower after the midnight run? Or is it right back to bed?
It's back to bed, yeah.
Ooh.
Everybody's funky and nasty, yeah. And they would do stuff like, I played games with you, of course, right? So we're in a class, and you always had a canteen with you with water, right? And one time, one of the instructors went to a guy and said, hey, you know, they called you a candidate, right? Hey, candidate Jones, you look thirsty. I get past you, drink your water. I'm not thirsty. What the fuck you say to me? You better drink this fucking water. And so, you know, there's no EO, none of that stuff, right? And of course, this is back in like 1998. Things might have changed. And so he drinks the whole canteen, right? And we all know what's going to happen, right? 10 minutes later, another dude comes in. Candidate, why's your canteen empty? And just smokes all of us, right?
Man.
So stuff like that, yeah.
And so, but what does that do in terms of like setting up your career? Like you make it through all of that.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, what happens to the guys who don't make it? And then what happens to folks like you who did make it?
I mean, you don't make it, you just go back to your regular Army job, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's nothing bad really happens, but you have the stigma like, man, you made it this far, you can make it, right? It just means you just can't quit, right?
Yeah.
But it's insane.
So then you're on the officer track after you pass. And another thing I learned about you is that, I'm not surprised to hear this, but your units that you were leading were consistently more successful and outperforming when it came to like at the time the benchmarks for other units. What at the time did you think was making your units different and so successful? And as you look back on it now, what other things have you noticed upon reflection that were the difference maker?
I think the big thing, whatever leadership role you have to take care of people, right? What's the thing? Like, take care of people, take care of you, right? Mm-hmm. And one thing I did might have been kind of different. Like, when I took a new job, within the 36 days, I got rid of 1 or 2 people, right? Mm. Like, these 2 people performed to go, right? And one time I did it different. Like, one time I took a job over, and actually I got rid of the person. But every time I talked to the person, oh, the so-and-so before you did it this way. You know, every time I said, oh, so-and-so did this way. That dude's not here no more, right? So if I had to get rid of him, right? And you just have to keep him down, right? Another thing too, like, even with someone that gives you like bad ideas all the time, you have to throw them a bone once in a while, right? Like, once in a while, okay, this some crazy shit, let's do it. Oh shit, that actually works, right?
Yeah.
And plus, your people know if you're going to take care of them or not take care of them.
Yeah, I love that.
And plus, I'm really competitive too. You know, I might seem like I'm competitive, I'm very competitive. Yeah, like I always been tell, like, you know, either you're a Super Bowl champion or you're not, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, you wouldn't go through all that trouble in officer school to not be competitive.
No.
I wouldn't think.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you retire. You've now hosted over 300 podcast episodes, 70 books. You run Seattle's Got Tech. Why has the community and ecosystem you've been building and a part of been so important to you?
I mean, it's a cliche giving back, you know, but it's about giving back, you know, showing, providing value, doing stuff for other people, right? I mean, it's a community here, right? I mean, it has negative things here. You know, people criticize it for some things, but most part, people want to do things, build great products, and people generally just get along here, right? They want to help each other out. There's a lot of like good stuff going on here. I just want to be part of that.
Yeah, when you think about all the good stuff going on here, you know, there's so much going on, particularly like within tech. There's all these investors, all this innovation, students, the whole gamut that you've supported platform. Why HR? Why now? And with human resources, especially when the headlines say the machines are coming and we don't need people.
I mean, the machines are coming. So I'll tell a funny story, right? It's all the time, like, why did I get involved with HR? It's totally random, right? So when I was young, now when the party started, I still remember, like 18, 19 years old, right? And so my life wasn't doing that good, right? I'm like, I need to do something besides the join army. But I told the recruiter, hey, I need something where I need it like sooner than later, right? Okay, I took the test. I came back. Okay, there's 2 jobs you can leave within a month, right? Okay, what are they? So one job was a parachute repairman, right? So the people jump out the airplanes, the parachute get torn up. There are people that actually sew them up, right? Sew them up. And so the video is like 100 dudes in this hot ass factory. They're sweating. It's hot as fuck, right? And like, man, that don't get good. And I could only go to North Carolina or Georgia. And it would be like in summertime, right? Next video was an office environment, nothing but nice looking females, very sexy, you know, very cool, you know, like. And I could go to Germany. I'll take that one. But the Army being the Army, my first job in Germany was a unit full of dudes, and the first month I was in the field. So I didn't know people like the first month in Germany. So yeah, the Army, they never lied to you, but they never tell the whole truth.
So you kind of got the honeypot bait and switch on
that
one.
Yes, definitely, yeah. I did pretty good at HR in the Army, you know, did a lot of stuff in the Army, and then just kept doing it in the civilian world, so to speak.
Yeah, and on that note, obviously the military and civilian world, very different in how you handle personnel, organization, HR. In your time being in HR as a civilian, consulting with leaders, organizations, what have you noticed tends to be what's broken or dysfunctional in HR for small businesses?
So first I go to the Army. In the Army, the disconnect is there's a lot of people in the Army who are leaders. They're like, okay, I rank you. I know more of this than you do, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you've never done this before, right? So that's the talent they have, unfortunately. And the civilian world, it's not the same thing. It's just like, it's almost an afterthought with HR, right? Everyone thinks, well, example I'll do, you hear all the time, I'm an expert recruiter. I'm an expert hiring manager. Are you really? Like, all your hires have been a hit? I refuse to believe that, right? Like, too many people say they're expert when they're not, unfortunately, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, like small business, what is small business, right? You know, according to SBA, small business, anything with 500 people below, that's I don't know if that's a small business, you know.
Yeah.
It's no matter of priorities, right? HR, they take care of once it's too late, you know. Oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. Yeah, you should have done that a long time before, you know. Or we won't get caught. I mean, maybe not, but you know, I like to help you. It's not like the government has like people going to your business every day. But problem is, sooner or later, if you do something wrong, one of your employees is going to drop a dime on you, so to speak, right? Mm. And they come and look at everything. Because if you're doing this one thing wrong, odds are you're doing everything wrong. And that's like more money you got to pay for fines.
Yeah. Well, let's let's get specific, and because you've consulted and had some great results with so many entrepreneurs and business owners. Tell me a little bit about your client Anna. You told me a little bit that she was really struggling with some things in her like your HR small business. It kind of sounds like Anna's story really characterizes some of these challenges that not only you currently help with, but are kind of common pain points and dysfunction. So tell us about Anna, what you were able to do for her.